Hi there. Okay, so it's day 10. We're on lesson 10 of A Course in Miracles, the workbook. I'm Janet Melody, and this is basically my commitment to working through the workbook for this year. So it's a 365-day course. All the information can be found at acim.org. If you've never heard of this book, this is just such a wonderful book. I've been reading it for a long time, but I've never really got through all of the lessons. I got to 250, and it's kind of got broken up towards the end. So I really wanted to make sure that every day I was going to keep on with the lessons. So I decided to go back to lesson 1, which is where I started at the beginning of the year, and then now on lesson 10. So if you've been following along, welcome to lesson 10. So let's get started. As always, I read the lesson and the description underneath, and just give my little insights and leave it with you to experience throughout your day. So today's lesson is, my thoughts do not mean anything. And this is the description. This idea applies to all the thoughts of which you are aware or become aware in the practice periods. The reason the idea is applicable to all of them is that they are not your real thoughts. We have made this distinction before and will do so again. You have no basis for comparison as yet. When you do, you will have no doubt that what you once believed were your thoughts did not mean anything. This is the second time we have used this kind of idea. The form is only slightly different. This time the idea is introduced with my thoughts instead of these thoughts. And no link is made overtly with the things around you. The emphasis is now on the lack of reality of what you think you think. This aspect of the correction process began with the idea that the thoughts of which you are aware are meaningless, outside rather than within, and when stressed their past rather than their present status. Now we are emphasizing that the presence of these thoughts means that you are not thinking. This is merely another way of repeating our earlier statement that your mind is really a blank. To recognize this is to recognize nothingness when you think you see it. As such, it is the prerequisite for vision. Close your eyes for these exercises and introduce them by repeating the idea for today quite slowly to yourself. Then add, this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. The exercises consist, as before, in searching your mind for all the thoughts that are available to you, without selection or judgment. Try to avoid classification of any kind. In fact, if you find it helpful to do so, you might imagine that you are watching an oddly assorted procession going by, which has little to do or any personal meaning to you. As each one crosses your mind, say, my thought about blank does not mean anything. My thought about blank does not mean anything. Today's thoughts can obviously serve for any thought that distresses you at any time. In addition, 5 practice periods are recommended, each involving no more than a minute or so of mind searching. It is not recommended that this time period be extended, and it should be reduced to half a minute or less if you experience discomfort. Remember, however, to repeat the idea slowly before applying it specifically, and also to add, this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. So that's it for today. My thoughts do not mean anything. And I do like the idea of imagining them as a procession, going past. So like a marching band, of thoughts, and realizing that you're just thinking of nothing pretty much going by. It's just all of it means nothing. And to remind yourself that this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. Clearing the slate of the mind so you can get to that place of just peace and just seeing things for as they really are. Have any of us really seen anything really now as a grown adult, with all of the things, the experiences and the layers that we've put onto everything? So yes, closing the eyes, that helps us see that our mind is just in a whole ball of nothingness, thinking about things that mean absolutely nothing to us. And they're just layers of past thoughts or future projections that have come from the past a lot of the time. So yes, this lesson will be really good to go into the mind and say, my thoughts do not mean anything. and then remind you that when you're saying this to yourself, that this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. So that's the lesson for today. I hope it really brings you a lot in there. It brings you a release and a calmness, you know, because I think this book, that's what it does. You know, whenever I feel I need just a time out or away from whatever my mind is sort of revolving around, because it does, and then you get attached to those thoughts, and it just, you know, it creates us, it can either create a really sort of coiling downwards depending on what you're thinking of. Just to keep yourself in a place of positivity, I get this book and I'll read the text sometimes, just to open it up at a random place and read the text, and usually it's quite fitting for what I needed that day. So you could try that as well. I really hope you do get a lot out of this lesson, and please leave any comments you'd like under this video regarding the course, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with lesson 11. So thanks everyone. See you then. Bye.